Hey everybody, it's Psychic Hunter David. Well, it is Thursday evening. Got a very busy couple days ahead of me. Everybody's kind of gearing up for this Uranus Jupiter. The thing that's really interesting about Uranus and Jupiter is this expansive sort of thing. And if you listen to a lot of the astrologers, and I know because I'm following things myself, is the last time this really concurred to the degree that it is in Taurus was 1941. And if you look back to 1941 and the main elements that were taking place, the Americans, called the draft. They were soon to join the forces against Germany, and at the time still Mussolini. I can't remember, maybe I'm wrong about that one, and if I am, correct me in the comments, because Italy might have overturned him by then. The thing that's really interesting is that I was doing a meditation just about what's going on with the whole, we're going to show them what we're made of, and we're going to go back on them. You've got kids throwing Lego toys. I mean, it sounds, I'm simplifying to an arrogant degree because let's just look at things here. First of all, the help that was out there across the board that's going on, you don't want to see anybody harmed. I don't want to see any children hurt. I don't want to see anybody, and I'm not going to get too much into the politics because that's what this is, and it is completely and utterly religious. Somebody that says to me this is not religious, I'm sorry, but it is. The bottom line is, it's divided humanity for thousands of years. And I think in the 21st century, it's probably time that we used our intellect and overrode emotional and started to recognize that humanity just is. We're human animals and we're very fragile. The thing that I want us to look at here is, out of the blue, I'm doing my meditation and all I kept thinking was the Dr. Seuss version of The Grinch That Stole Christmas. And it came to mind, and I saw the Grinch go in my mind's eye, taking all of these things in the cartoon, not the later versions, the Jim Carrey one, but the cartoon. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate no matter what your religion is. When we're kids, we don't know any different, neither do we give a shit. And the thing that's really fascinating was the fact that the next morning, they all got up and they stood around where the tree once was and sang Bahu Dore and started to recognize that the love wasn't about material things and it wasn't about all this other crap. It was about one another. And it was about, the aspect that they were still capable and they were coping and they were here. And, the human animal really does not understand the severity of AI. People, to me, are actually not as bright as they actually compound themselves and express themselves to be. AI is going to deplete the human need, meaning the human need for humans. And this is the thing that I think is in the back of my mind more than anything. Not the worry about material because it's all on loan, and I've said this thousands of times to the point where it's a nausea, and people look at me and say, oh, here he goes, he's going to get on his rant when I'm with friends, but you just don't understand. It's inanimate and it's lovely, but we don't need $50 million to walk down the street with gold shoulder pads on. As far as humans, we've learned enough in the last how many thousands of years, but especially the last 100, that the human, condition is far more important than things. But anyway, I just really hope that common sense prevails. I don't think it's going to. But I'll tell you, I did some metaphysical work after the fact, and I'll tell you it'll cause a division 3 ways, more than likely Judeo-Christian, Muslim, and it's going to cause uneasiness in societies across the world. It's going to cause deception, the depth of deception. People aren't going to trust anyone, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Now, people can talk about hating Donald Trump, but I'll tell you something. No matter what Trump does, I'm sure he probably will, if someone doesn't do something to him, get in as the president. And I do believe he'll step up and enable a state of calm. People can hate him to your purple, and he is flamboyant and probably as flamboyant as Elton John is, and people love him because of what they're getting from him. And Donald Trump rubs people, and I rub people, and that's just too bad. But I think, in all honesty, we got to put our this is who I am background aside for a minute. And as I've said numerous times, when the Twin Towers came down, I've watched a documentary once, and one fellow was Muslim, he was Afghani, and the other person was Jewish from New York, and the other person sounded as either Irish American or something, New Yorker. And they all worked together. They all worked together to help people that were surviving, and very few did when that thing came down. And I think the goal is that humanity has to keep learning. They have to keep getting smashed down. They'll never learn, I don't think, in this experience. I think the experience is here for us to see that it doesn't work. But anyway, that's all I had to say. I just thought about this, and I've done this a very long time. and people can say whatever they want about it. And frankly, someone's opinion is none of mine or anybody else's business. But what I do believe is we have a lot of dynamic. We have a lot of wonderment in this world with the human talents, with singing and acting and in ingenuity and brilliance on an intellectual level. That the saddest thing is to see destruction to this degree over material that is, again, man-made. Man just can't help continually sabotaging himself for the sake of better. Okay, I suppose. And then somebody dies and they're wallowing and crying, but you came from nothingness. You came from whatever in your mother's womb, and you're going to leave. But anyway, I thought I would say that. I mean, my philosophies are very different because I don't get too caught up with the other. And sometimes I actually poke fun at it all with the other because I actually see people believing in absolutely ludicrous ways, but they're going to do what they're going to do. Anyway, I wish you guys all the best. I am working, and people know when they come to me, they're going to hear the truth. They're not going to hear some kind of fancified, you're going to go to a wedding, a funeral, or a birth of a baby. Sometimes it comes up, but very rarely. Anyway, wish you guys all the best. And let's just hope, as I said, that common sense prevails over this weekend. Jupiter, Uranus, and Taurus, by the way, which is the sun sign of Israel, is a really fantastic time for expansive intellectual growth. It means that with the pounding that Israel was given before now Iran went at them, you know, it could actually cause a calm, and they could step back and say, wait a minute here, what are we doing? We're going to throw, you know, we're a bunch of guys that are 6'4", going to throw eggs at 2-year-olds and actually maybe hurt children. Anyway, I wish you guys all the best, and enjoy every day. I hope it's going to be beautiful soon again, and we just got to get out and enjoy. Cheers.